All right, it is time for the North Florida Blitz. I got a round of applause here tonight.
Woo! Let's go, North Florida!
All right, Mark Cannon, you said you were in the chat before Reno.
Try again, Mark. Try again, Mark. I'm watching.
All right, good evening to you, everybody. Welcome to the North Florida Blitz here on FortHSFootball.com and the FortHSFootball.com social media networks as we come to you live here each and every Tuesday night from 8 till 8:45. And then, of course, after this, stay tuned for the Drive the State show because it's we as we might have mentioned in the last, we actually mentioned in the South Florida Blitz, there was a couple of changes, which means some of the brackets have been flipped on their head here.
Yep.
And we are going to talk about that at 9 o'clock. But first, our guest tonight on the interview is going to be head coach Tommy Joe Whitten of the Mosley Dolphins. Yes, Tommy Joe Whitten joining us from the Mosley Dolphins here on the North Florida Blitz. The Mosley Dolphins 9-0 district champs. And they are one win away from a perfect regular season, but they are going to have a tough battle this week with a really good Florida High team in Tallahassee. So, yes, it is hard to believe we're already at week 11 here in
week 11. It's almost gone, man.
And then we get the extra week 12. the rare week 12 it comes up and it's a regular season week 12, not a
extra little sprinkle on top. You know, that's all it is.
Yes, indeed. It is as well. But hey, hi everybody. Good to see you on the chat here. I see everybody. I see Jenny on here. I see Mark on here. Yeah. So there you go. Rena's watching everybody. As we are here on the North Florida Blitz here, and then it is about that time for the Blitz lines. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, I believe you can do this. I'm not exactly sure how y'all can do it, but yes. Okay. All right. So there's a button in the chat now that it looks like you can believe it is. Yes. But so to kind of direct y'all on the YouTube chat real quick, you can show support for Fort HS football. You can, there's a right in the chat on the YouTube side, right next to the chat box. There is looks like a dollar bill right next to it, and you can see super stickers, super chat. You can make your message stand out. You can get creative with animated GIFs, and yes, you can do that and support us. And right here on FortHSFootball.com and the FortHSFootball.com social media platforms, specifically YouTube at Fort HS Football. If you had not hit subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and we will greatly appreciate it. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers. We are almost there. So, but
almost there. Come on, everyone, please share, like, hit subscribe, share it. Josh needs this. Let's do it.
Yes, indeed. And hey, David Kolzowski, how you doing? Glad you're here tonight with us. And yes, Coach will be on tonight with us. I mean, we are happy to have Coach Tommy Joe Whitten from the Mosley Dolphins joining us here. Oh, 30 more. It must have went to 970 as we were just sitting here. So that's good. But, oh, wait a second. Hello. Well, hey, he's in a super sticker. And now it's not going to show there, but it will show in the chat. I like it. There we go. Reno is in there, a super sticker. Yes, indeed. I like it.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. And I'm glad y'all are here. All right, Pensacola Catholic. Let's get started with these headlines. Pensacola Catholic slammed South Walton for the 2A1 title, 45-7, and they left no doubt on this field here. And running clock in the second half. And CJ Nettles 167 yards on the ground. How about this? 5 rushing touchdowns. So. Yes.
Even with the running clock, 5 touchdowns.
Hey, Mark Cannon, thank you.
Woo, Mark. Let's go. Thank you, Mark.
Now that I tell you where the super stickers are at, this will be like that on every single show going forward.
Here's my first one, Josh.
Yes. 2 or 3 claps for a Ric Flair. Yes, we do. That's the way I like it. So, absolutely. As we roll along here. All right. As we got Pensacola Catholic, they slammed South Walton. How about this? Pace hammers Navarre and leaves no doubt about their playoff spot because we all know what happened last year with Pace. Yeah, 8-2, and they got left out of the playoffs.
Yeah, not fair.
Yeah, they weren't leaving up the chance this year after the snub last year. And honestly, Pace now on a 7-game win streak. They are officially 8-1 on the season. And they kind of did things a little split evenly here, but Ben Tyner 2 touchdowns and there was 188 yards rushing among 5 players, and defense held Navarre to just 129 yards.
Team effort there, sharing the ball and making sure that everything moves like that.
No, absolutely. No. Yes, indeed. I mean, it is really just huge in what the Pace has been able to do. 35-7 over Navarre. And as we roll along here, Choctaw clocks for Beach the game in quotes. The game. So it is the game between those two right there. And yes, and honestly, Choctaw just rolling around and doing whatever they got to do. Finish with a perfect district record at 3-0. And the Indians have for Choctaw, they are looking mighty good, sitting there at a 7-2 record. And got to give it up for them what they have been able to do here. And how about this? The Choctaw has won since they lost to Fort Walton Beach 35-28 in 2020 in the COVID season. How about this? Choctaw has won 28-6, 48-0, 41-0, 49-13. So
think somebody got a little mad.
Hey, and Choctaw's got a lot of great tradition and a lot of great pride. And head coach Frank Beasley doing what he does best, getting those wins out there and leading Choctaw to another playoff berth with that district title. And we are just going to roll it along. How about Niceville? Okay. Niceville soaring over Milton for a big win, 43-3. And how about this Keeneland Fortune to Robert Stiff, 2 touchdowns from Joe Bugino and a Timberland Land Smith score. So some big scores right there for Niceville right there, 43-3. And Niceville, it's been a back and forth between Mosley and Niceville for that number 1 spot in 5A Region 1. And this week Mosley is back on top of the region. Niceville is sitting there at number 2. And we'll make sure that we're going to be having Tommy Joe Wynn on here around 8:15 our time, 7:15 for those in the Central Time Zone, divided by the Apalachicola River. So there you go. All right, as we roll this, Lincoln. About this, Lincoln shuts. I actually had one more headline. I should have, and I missed it here when going through setting this up. But here I'm going to. It's not on the line here. But Arnold stock is rising. How about Arnold? Panama City Beach Arnold. 16-14 over Rickards, and it almost basically solidified the Arnold Marlins getting a playoff spot. They finished the regular season 7-3. Nice. And how about this? Here's the other issue with that in 4A Region 1, Reno. It may keep Columbia out of the playoffs. They're gonna need Rickards to lose to Lincoln, and hopefully some other things happen in the rankings for Columbia to kind of get past Rickards to get in that number 8 spot. And I'll tell you this, but if Rickards beats Lincoln this week, all bets are off for Columbia getting to the playoffs.
Right, man. And Lincoln's playing tough, so that's going to be a great matchup.
Yes, and by the way, speaking of Lincoln, Speaking of Lincoln here, how about this? 38-17 over O'Galley, and Mark Cannon says this. Lincoln buddy told me he was surprised on how easily they handled O'Galley. But you know what, Mark? I'm really not surprised here. I'm not surprised that this happened. I'm not surprised that Lincoln was able to handle O'Galley. I thought in terms of comparing the schedules, O'Galley kind of had a little bit easier with the scheduling into 8-0 versus where Lincoln was sitting there coming in that game 6-2. So to me, I'll be honest with you, I really am not so shocked here that Lincoln did. And you said four score and 7 points, Reno, last week on the pick, and we both took Lincoln, and we were right on the money for that one. So.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, even stat-wise, 21 first downs versus 11 in the game, and total plays ran 71-67 and what really I think I heard Galley here was the 13 penalties for 92 yards. That really set them back.
Good night. Yeah, that'll set you back. That'll set you back a little bit right there. But David Kolosowski says Lincoln ain't too far behind, and you're absolutely correct. And we will talk about that coming up here on the Drive the State show because it is a tight 3-way race for 1, 2, and 3 in 5A Region 1. So, yes, indeed. And as you brought it, Mosley's close behind Manning. Good. Wow. Yep, you're right. And it will be huge. All right. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me see. Let me make sure I haven't seen Coach. Make sure that Coach has come in. Okay, let me make sure that I send him the correct link here. So hold on one second here. Let me make sure that we got the correct link to him. Hold on one second, because I swore I sent the correct link on, and let me just double check to make sure that we got that. But as Reno, I mean, how about this next headline as we go rolling into this? How about there we go. We got Coach there. Now we go. Now we see Coach on the screen here and the thing ready to go. So there we go. So we got him situated, getting ready to go for the interview coming up here in a few minutes. How about this, Reno? Trinity Catholic 1-7 coming into this game against PK Young, who was 5-2 coming into that game. Well,
come on, PK Young, hometown crowd. Let's go. What was wrong?
Well, it's called Trinity Catholic. They're 34-0 in district games under John Brantley. Yeah, well, Trinity Catholic's heading to the postseason for the 12th straight season under John Brantley, despite the 2-7 record. By the way, they were 3-7 last year and got to the state title game in Class 1S, but Trinity Catholic blows them out 37-0. PK Young still in the mix for a playoff spot, by the way, but Trinity Catholic's guaranteed a playoff berth at 2-7. And this week, I'm trying to think who Trinity Catholic. Off my mind, I'm trying to figure out who Trinity Catholic's got on the schedule.
Either way, PK Young, they can't have 6 turnovers. You'll never be able to win a game with 6 turnovers like that.
No, you'll never win. You'll never win a game with 6 turnovers.
Not at all. They got to get that fixed before they move on. That's for sure.
No, absolutely. As we roll along here, Mandarin clinches the District 6A3 championship. I know that game was on our picks last week, and I'm trying to remember. Did you took Oakleaf? We both took Oakleaf.
We did Oakleaf, yeah.
Yeah, well, Mandarin knocks Ionis for Mandarin 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, and honestly,
the roots were not strong on that one.
Nope, not at all. And Mandarin, they beat Oakleaf for the District 6A3 championship, and Mustangs are at the playoffs. Oakleaf still firmly in the mix for a playoff spot, sitting there. It's actually they kind of give you a sneak peek. They only flip-flopped their spots where they were at from compared to last week, so that tells you how much change. Not really much difference. Yeah, because interesting enough, they were the projections had them matched up in the bracket last week. Well, the projection still has them matched up in the bracket again. So if anything, we may be seeing a short rematch between those two teams come playoff time if that happens, if that holds. But Nice rolls to a district title. They took the 6A3 title, beating Tocoi Creek, pounded them basically, and boy, it was not a pretty night for Tocoi Creek. Nice just rolling around, still undefeated now, 7-0 on the season. And Nate Henry just how about this? How about Nate Henry? 5 touchdowns in the first half. Holy cow!
I mean, I know there's stars and there's people who stand out, but come on, to get 5 touchdowns, that's team effort there. That's the line making room, making time. That's amazing. Great for them.
No, absolutely. And talk about Buchholz. They needed overtime to beat Bartram Trail 38-37. The Bobcats 5-4 now on the season. They denied that comeback to Bartram Trail. And honestly, it really just, for the Bobcats, they have just, they've not had the teams that they've had in the last few years that have gone to the state semifinals. And our guest head coach, Tommy Joe Wynn, knows something about Buchholz from last year when playing them in the playoffs. But I'll tell you this, Buchholz, not the same Buchholz team we've seen the last 3 years here in the Gainesville area, but Buchholz still holding a firm for a playoff spot, and they're still in the top 4 in their region. But they got a big, huge game this week against Cardinal Newman at home, and it's going to be a tough one for Mark Whittemore's Bobcats here coming up on Thursday night on Halloween. By the way, trick or treat. Let's see if they have any. Let's see if they have any tricks, or if they have any tricks for Cardinal Newman, or it's going to be all treating. So we'll find out there. All right, hey, I'm going to send out a round of congratulations to Brian Braddock, the head coach at St. Augustine High. Gets his 100th career victory as a head coach, and he was 23-10 at Mandarin. He's now 77-26 at St. Augustine, and they blow by Ridgeview 63-7. They are district champs in 4A District 3. And so congratulations there to St. Augustine. Trenton Jones, 3 touchdowns, and then 2, and he had 2 receptions and 1 on a run, 2 on a receptions and 1 on a run. And wow, St. Augustine just rolling along, and their only loss of the season to Nice. So they're 7-1, and their only loss is to Nice, their rivals. So, well, all right is all with Fleming Island, 3-7 last year, but interim head coach now probably has the end of the interim tag taken off probably at this point. But Derek Cipoletti, head coach there with the Golden Eagles this year, 6-3, and they beat Middleburg 42-6, and they are district champs in 5A3. Not something I expected this year. So one of the districts I kind of got wrong there in terms of my district projections at the start of the year. But Fleming Island 42, Middleburg 6, and they're headed to the playoffs there, and they'll be in the playoffs in that 5A Region 1 bracket. And as we roll along, hey, Purdy Purd, hey, we're talking about some Rains here. Rains 47-0. They're aiming higher, and they're rolling along here, 8-0 on the season. And they play Atlantic Coast here coming up here on Halloween because it's Florida Georgia weekend in Jacksonville. So all the Duval County Public Schools will be playing Thursday night.
Thursday night, yeah.
Thursday night football. And the Sunshine State Athletic Association released their playoff brackets, which starts this Friday. And as we pull it up here on the screen here, you can see there is some teams from North Florida in this bracket. You got Christ Church sitting there at the number 2 seed for the North bracket in the state championship bracket. And we'll go into the 5A bracket. St. Joseph, who took their first loss against Arnolaken this past week, they are the number 2 seed in the 5A bracket. They didn't have enough to get into the state championship bracket. And Oak Hall sitting there at number 3, Bishop Snyder number 4 in that bracket in the 5A championship bracket. And then in the Atlantic State Championship bracket, you've got Paxton sitting there at number 1, and Lake Weir number 4, West Nassau number 2, in front of Dena Beach number 3. And those are all the teams in the North that are in the North bracket and that are part of this here on the North Florida Blitz. And of course, the district champions. We'll have more with the graphics next week, but there's quite a few district champions, and going all the way from Mosley to Mandarin to Pace. I mentioned for Newberry because they are district champs too. By the way,
that's right.
So there you go,
Newberry.
But yes, indeed. But we do have a 3-way tie in 3A District 4. How about this? Bishop Kenny, Menendez, and Terry Parker are all tied at 2-1 in that district, and the FHA Max Press Power Ranking is going to determine who will be the district champs, with Bishop Kenny sitting there at top of the district right now. And they had the best power rating of those 3 teams, and they're ranked number 4 in 3A Region 1 right now as we speak. But Mosley, yes. How about Mosley? Mosley looking, Mosley, I tell you what, this team has been, last year they were district champs. They won the district championship against Niceville last year, did it again this year, but this year, this team's 9-0 compared to walking into the playoffs at 6-4. They got a tough battle against Florida High this week, who was 6-3 in Tallahassee. But, honestly, I'll tell you this right now: if Mosley does this, it's a perfect 10-0 season. It's only 48 minutes on the clock for them to get that. And we're going to talk to head coach Tommy Joe Wynn here coming up here in a moment. We got a 2-minute water break coming up here. Reno, you got your Gatorade?
Got my Gatorade.
Yes, indeed. So, all right, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout here, 2-minute water break, and we'll be right back. And we'll have head coach Tommy Joe Wynn from the Mosley Dolphins joining us here on the North Florida Blitz. Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this. All right, welcome back here on the North Florida Blitz, and joining us is the head coach of the 9-0 Mosley Dolphins, head coach Tommy Joe Wynn. Coach, appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule. And Coach, I know when we saw I saw the Dolphins last year in the playoffs. I know y'all kind of got in there through getting the district championship, but kind of drawing the seed that wasn't so desirable, but. Coach, this year your guys have worked their butts off, and you quoted in with the Panama City News Herald. You said this back-to-back district champs has a great ring to it. I'm just proud of our team in the program and how hard we have worked since January. I mean, talk about that. What you have done since January to get these guys to where they are at today.
No, we've got a great group of hardworking guys, and like you said, we made it into the playoffs last year with a young team, and we had 17 starters coming back for this year. So we felt like we had to have a chance to have a really good football team, and we put in a great offseason, which led to a great spring. And guys worked hard over the summer, and guys have continued to get better, and we've had a great season so far.
I mean, talk about your quarterback, Sammy Faritas. He's been really just lighting it on fire this year. I mean, he has been your offensive leader. I mean, talk about what he has been able to do.
Man, Sammy, he's definitely the leader of our team. He's a 3-year starter for us. He's played a ton of football for us at Mosley. He's had great years for us every single year. This year obviously he's playing his best football that he's ever played. And again, the thing that I just love about Sammy is how much work he puts in the off season, his commitment to his craft, wanting to be a really good player. And again, obviously his teammates see that, and it bleeds over into everybody else. And he just does a great job for our program.
I mean, over 1,700 yards, 23 touchdowns. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better thing. And I love it. They did the kids and the family right there, and I love that. It's so cute with the kids. That I will tell you that. So, but I'll tell you, with Sammy, doing this with 1,700 yards passing. I mean, that is just impressive. But you're rushing. You don't just lean on Sammy, but y'all lean on a couple of guys in the running game. Talk about these guys here that have just been really rolling along.
Yeah, no, La'Kavion Jackson and Sammy Chisholm have done a great job in our running game, and but. Also, of our offensive line, they've done a great job of paving the way. We've had 4 starters coming back from last year, and those guys have gotten better over the course of the season. And our backs have ran really hard, and I feel like we've been a real balanced offense so far in the season. And anytime you can play balanced and be 50-50 on offense, I feel like it's really hard to defend.
No, absolutely. And let's talk about you got something that you want to chime in, Reno?
I was gonna say no. Let's talk about the defense. I see your defense is stepping up and getting lots of hurries on the other team and causing a lot of fumbles and interceptions. Let's talk about how you got them prepared for this season.
Yeah, defensively, our guys have done a great job, led by Raiden Bruins, Rutgers commit on the defensive line, led us in sacks and has done a great job of creating havoc on the D line. Again, La'Kavion Jackson coming from us off the edge, playing our nickel spot, playing safety, and Wyatt Fleming, Sawyer Schultz at our linebacker spots. Again, a lot of great kids that play really hard, fly around. They're fun to watch on Friday nights. But again, it's just a testament to how hard that they've worked this offseason. And, I love, seeing them have success in the fall this year.
No, absolutely. And Coach, I know while there's some debate about the rankings in the chat here that we've got, we actually have a question from one of our fans on here. He says, "Congratulations, Coach! And what was the key to beating Niceville earlier this year?" I think that's a lot of questions people ask. What was the key to beating Niceville? Which, by the way, I have to point out that's your alma mater. So it's and I know it's kind of like it's interesting. You're a coach at an opposing school, and you're in the same district, and you're going up against your alma mater. I mean, I know that has to be like. When you play Niceville, I'm sure that it probably takes you a moment to realize, but hey, you got this team to coach. But what was the key to beating Niceville this year?
Yes, it's definitely a unique situation. Obviously, I'm from there, I grew up there. Coach Hicks, who's the head coach there for 19 years, is my father-in-law. Coach Thompson and Coach Martin, the defensive coordinator, we all grew up together. We're all best friends. So going into the game, there's no secrets. Again, they know us, we know them. I thought, just going into that game, we know Niceville has a very impressive running attack with Connor Matthews. And, to me, it was all about going to the game about stopping the run. And then offensively for us is our ability to run the football. Going into that game, people have labeled us as a passing team because of Sammy Freitas and what we can do at the wide receivers. But we thought we were going to have the opportunity to really lean on them, use our offensive line in our backs, and that's what we were able to do. And, we were able to dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And our guys played really, really hard. And it was definitely a fun night. And we felt like we won that game that was going to get us the district championship. Ultimately, it did. And again, it was really a tough game, but just really proud of the way our kids played that night.
No, absolutely. And Zach Lesnar says he has never been this fired up for high school football in Bay County. I mean, Bay County, there's only like five, six schools in Bay County altogether. And, and y'all are out in the middle between Pensacola and Tallahassee. So sometimes people kind of overlook y'all at times, but for y'all, I mean, the attention that this brings. I mean, how do y'all handle that? How do y'all handle this with the attention that this brings, especially with the fact that, and we'll talk about it in a moment, one game away from a perfect regular season?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely, the opportunity that we have with our program. Before we got to Mosley wasn't really known as a football school, but I felt like there was a lot of opportunities for our program. And, we've won 3 district championships in 4 years, which hasn't been done in a long time. And, going out and beating Niceville 2 years in a row, I think that definitely gains respect throughout the Panhandle, hopefully throughout the state of Florida. And then, this Friday night, we got a chance to go undefeated for the first time since 1981. So something that hasn't been done in Mosley in a really long time. And, these are the things that you got to do to build your program. And we understand that this is an opportunity for our program, and we've got to go out and play really good versus a good Florida High team that's coached really well by Coach Hickman. And, again, it's an exciting opportunity for us right now at Mosley.
No, and then let's talk about that game a little bit more because, you can throw the records out in this game. Florida High is always going to be a tough team to play. And what have y'all been doing and getting the preparation ready for them? Because, as we know that, Florida High started out a little sluggish at the start of the year, but they've completely gotten better as the weeks have progressed. So, I mean, this is going to be what could potentially be one of those slobber knocker matchups.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think you hit the nail on the head. They started out slow, and to me, it's a testament to Coach Hickman and the program that he has, that his guys have continued to get better every single week. Now, to me, like one of the unique things about this game is we played Florida High back in the spring, so both teams are going to be familiar with one another. They'll have some film that they can go back and watch from the spring game, and again, like I said, we expect it to be a really good game. Florida High's got really good players. They're well coached, and hopefully it'll be a fun atmosphere and a fun game on Friday night.
No, absolutely. And I got a couple more comments here for you, Coach. Dorino, you go ahead and ask what you want to ask while I bring these comments up.
No, I was going to say football is a game of inches, and it's decided in the trenches. That's how we play Friday night football.
No, it's absolutely right. And Joe Settle says, as an Niceville fan, I really like the Mosley coach. He's always has his teams prepared. And you're getting some compliments from the Niceville fans, and that's huge right there, Coach, for you. David Klosowski, Coach, this may be a name that sounds familiar. Definitely preached Coach Whitten and the role he's played in my son's life when he played at Mosley. Thank you, Coach. So,
yeah, no, Mr. Kozlowski, he's one of our biggest fans. Son played for us a couple of years ago. He definitely, he's at every game, and he's on here every single week asking questions, and he's one of our biggest supporters, and we appreciate, his support of our program.
No, absolutely. And, honestly, at the end of the day, y'all have just been impressive. And again, you said 1981 was the last time a perfect regular season for Mosley. And I believe last year was y'all's first district title since that 81 season, I believe, correct? It was that.
We won my first year at Mosley in 21. We won district that year.
Right.
Well, so.
Yeah, so ever since you've been there, it's been mostly district championships, and if there's anything, if there's anything for people to go back and look on that 81 season about Mosley and compare it to now, what would be like what would they need to look at to kind of compare these teams at this particular point?
Well, so kind of back to that 81 team, Coach McCrory, who passed this offseason, he was our offensive line coach. He was a part of that team. And the two similarities between the teams is like the core of that. The team just kind of slowly got better over the years and grew together. And before that 81 season, I want to say kind of like us, they went 500 or around 500 that year before, but they had a lot of guys that were committed, that had been in a part of the program and really improved and got better, and obviously went on to being state runners up that year in 81.
No, absolutely. And I believe that was 81 up season. I want to say that was a runner up to Vero Beach. I want to say, I believe that season. So definitely some good football that has been played over the years in the Sunshine State, and Mosley's been a part of that thing. And you're right in your chapter of Mosley football and the coach. But Coach, Zach Lesnar, they're ready for some playoff football at Tommy Oliver. So I know that's going to be an electrified atmosphere come November 5th, week of November 15th, when we'll be hosting a first round playoff game against the opponent that we will find out pretty soon here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, we're definitely excited. That was the goal, in Bay County football. Hasn't been to the level that it's at since Coach Harden in the days at Rutherford, and that was the goal in coming to Mosley, is that we wanted to bring Mosley back and make Bay County football relevant. And I feel like we've made strides in doing that. We've still got to get better as a program, but anytime you get a chance to play at home at Tommy Oliver, it's a big deal. And I know our community in Bay County is going to be excited, and I can't wait for it.
No, and by the way, y'all won't be the only Bay County team headed to play. Also, Bay's going with y'all as well, and it looks like maybe potentially Arnold, who is coming out of a slump. It'd be a great year for Bay County football to send several teams to the playoffs, and y'all are one of them, Coach. And I appreciate you so much for joining us here on the North Florida Blitz and taking the time out of your busy schedule. And best of luck at Florida High this week in Tallahassee. I know that it will be a big game for y'all here to wrap up the regular season.
Yep, I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on.
No, appreciate it, Coach. Thank you so much, Coach. That was head coach Tommy Joe Wynn joining us here on the North Florida Blitz. Appreciate him joining us here and taking the time here, and pretty good stuff there.
Yeah, really good stuff. I'm excited for what he's building up there, and can't wait to see what next season brings, even after this playoff season. So. Great job,
Ellis Hall chimes in and says Mosley's a winner. Hope you all run the table. So there you go. By the way, if you're not subscribed to us on Florida HS Football on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We're going to work on a couple other things that may be able to introduce. But first things first, in the chat box on the YouTube side, there is now a $ box right next to the chat button. It's called Super. So you got super stickers, super chat. You can hit that sticker. You can hit the super stickers or the super chat. Maybe I have to, let me see. I'll have to maybe bring it up on the screen, and I'll just have to show y'all after the break. I'll figure that out, but I can share that and show that to y'all here in a moment here as we do this. And but we're going to take our next 2-minute water break here. And then guess what? Pick 6 times coming. We're going into the fourth quarter of the show.
Fourth quarter.
Yes, indeed. So, all right, we're going to take a 2-minute water break here. We'll be right back here on the North Florida Blitz. Welcome back here on the North Florida Blitz. Hey, subscribe to that YouTube channel.
I need to hear it. I need to hear
Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Florida HS Football. Subscribe. I saw that in the chat. And apparently, Mark Cannon does not have a comeback for your Gatorade comments.
No Powerade. No
Yes,
Powerade. All
indeed.
Gatorade.
Yes, indeed. So, yes, by the way, David Kozlowski been made a mention here right before the break. I didn't bring it up, but he said 1993 was a memorable season. Bay Rutherford played in the state semifinals. We packed over 10,000 fans at the Tommy Oliver. Holy cow. Good night. Yeah, Tommy Oliver, and the current version of Tommy Oliver is even nicer, and and that kind of things happened to when Hurricane Michael kind of went through there in the Panhandle there in Panama City. It kind of they had to rebuild the stadium, and well, I mean, there you go. It's a nice facility out there at Tommy Oliver now. So, and by the way, Sean Graham, thank you for subscribing.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. By the way, let me see if I can do this here before we do that. Let me see if I can. Yes, let me go ahead and hit the share screen button so that way I can bring this up here. Let's see if it'll let me do this here. All right. So, all right. Let's see if it'll allow me to do this here. Let me go ahead and see if it'll allow me to do this here. Okay, wait a second. Hold on. Let me do this. I'm gonna bring it up on the screen here. I'm gonna move myself over here for a moment. I'm just gonna add this to the quick. I'm gonna do this real quick here, so just kind of bear with me here, people. As you see this here, there's a button here. This is where the supers are at. The super stickers, the super chat. You can see that here. It's in the chat. This will be like this in every show now with the supers like that. So you can see that there on the chat screen. And as we roll along here. And back here on the show. And there's Reno back here. We're back here. Bring that back up on the stage here now. Yes, indeed. So appreciate that. Everybody hit that subscribe button and to talk to us here. We appreciate y'all. And yes, again, there's that little $sign box in the chat box on YouTube. That is the supers for the super chats and the super stickers that we will now have from now going forward. So, and I'll show those. This is where we see that. And then Mark Cannon, yep, we will be able to bring those up as y'all do that. And thank y'all. Thank you for y'all support. So with that said, it's time for the pick six. Let's go. Give me 3 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! So yes. Again, you can support FloridaHSFootball.com through the super chats and the super stickers. And by the way, you can do a lot here. As we do the pick six, you can participate by posting in the comment box wherever you're watching us from, be that YouTube. Hit that subscribe button at Florida HS Football on YouTube, on Facebook, or on X/Twitter. Yes, indeed. We appreciate all the support here as we roll into the pick six here. All right, with one game scrapped off the schedule because Taylor County and Gadsden County did not get played last week because the lights went out. Yeah, the lights, the stadium lights.
Flashlights. Let's go.
I mean, heck, if this had been back in the old days, that they would have gotten probably about 50 cars out there, and they would have all turned their headlights on.
That's right. We don't need no stinking lights. We got cars and trucks.
But yes, indeed. As we roll along here with the pick six here, I was 4-1 last week. Reno 3-2. Not bad. Not bad. All right. So as we roll along here with this here, and 37-19 on the season. So not bad, 66% right on the thing. I'm getting closer. I've been flirting with 70% here so far this season here. So we'll have to see what happens here with the picks this week. And first up on our picks is Mosley at Florida High. And
starting with the big one. Look at you. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I put this game on the picks for a reason. This is going to be a tough one. This is not in terms of a easy cakewalk for anybody. This is not going to be a rollover game for anybody. This is going to be one of those slobber knockers that could be 7-6, 10-7, something like that, kind of deal. Reno, how are you feeling about this one?
Well, it's like you said, Florida High, and Coach said it as well. Florida High had a slow start, but they've come out pretty strong. With that said, Coach is also right about Mosley that the kids are bought in and they're ready. They have the undefeated season and they're one game away. So let's see a repeat of last weekend, and let's have the Dolphins take away out the Seminoles here. And I'm going with Mosley for the win.
No, I'm going with Mosley for the win as well. And Mark Cannon, Mosley, Zach Lesnar, Mosley, Jenny, she's going Mosley.
But close. I agree.
It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a close one for sure with that game. All
but
right,
again, Mosley got that dual threat. So if they come out strong, this is going to blow open. So
no, you're absolutely right. All right, as we head into the further stretches of the Ellis Hall, he's going with Mosley too. It will come down to who's hungry. And if anybody knows where the line reference is coming from, what movie, you get some bonus points. And Jenny, do not tell him, because I know which movie that's from. Reno probably knows which movie that is from. I want to see if the rest of the chat pulls. Oh, David Kozlowski joins in and says Mosley pulled. They will pull away late, 41-28.
41-28 though.
Ooh. All right, Escambia 7-2 at Tate 7-2. And honestly, this one to me, Escambia, I mean, they're playing really good, but kind of got off by the skin of their teeth against Pine Forest here this past week. But Tate, they've been looking pretty solid here. But here's the thing about Tate. They need a win big time. They need a win big time to kind of secure a playoff spot. They're right now holding the number 8 seed in 6A Region 1. And Escambia, they're district champs. They're headed to playoffs, so this game could maybe not matter as much to the Gators. But part of me says the Gators, Mike Bennett, I don't think he's going to let his Gators sit there and take a week off, knowing that they're headed to playoffs, because playoff positioning, these games matter in week 11 now. It used to be week 10, wrap it up, district champs, runner-up, going to the playoffs. Week 11 really didn't matter as we're getting ready for the playoffs. Not the case. This is going to matter here in terms of the situation for the seeding. And Reno, how are you feeling here?
Well, I think it's going to come down to home field on this one. So I think Tate will pull out the win just based on being at home, being comfortable, and being able to control it.
But we're going against each other here. This one. I'm going Escambia. Zach Lesnar's going Escambia will help Mosley strength the schedule, so that could be big right there for Mosley in terms of Escambia wins. David Kozlowski is going to Escambia. Mark Cannon's going to Escambia, and
I'll be on my island. It's okay.
Now we hungry. Yes,
we hungry.
We hungry. These teams are hungry. But yes, with Escambia, I'm going with that one. And as we roll along, Nice 7-0 at Beachside 7-2. Whoa, boy, this is a battle of two St. Johns County teams. Beachside most likely heading to the playoffs for the first time as a program in their third season. Nice 7-0, district champs headed to the playoffs. Non-district game, but huge game. This will be the final game of the regular season for Beachside. Nice will have one more regular season game left with Bartram Trail on November 7th. Man, those Nice Panthers, they've just been rolling everybody. And I think Nice is just going to roll big here and kind of solidify their spot. That's the number 1 team in 6A Region 1. That's my feeling, and I'm going with Nice.
I don't know, Josh. I think the Barracudas might be able to shock them on one. Nice may come in a little too excited.
Okay. Well, so you're going to go rolling with Beachside on this one.
I think Beachside could pull the underdog on this one and do a surprise visit.
Ooh, okay. So Reno, you heard Reno. He's taking Beachside on this. I'm writing this down, by the way. So let's roll with this. Mark Cannon is going Nice. Zach Lesnar Nice may get to see Beachside at Tommy Oliver. That might be a potential chance here. We'll see what happens. But right now, as I can tell you, Zach, the potential seeding sitting there for Mosley's in Mosley's region, it looks like right now it could be Middleburg making the visit to Tommy Oliver, not Beachside. Maybe not. Okay. All right. Hold on. Maybe not. Okay. It's a matter of who hungry. Okay. We hungry. Yes. And we'll talk about this. Pace is the number 1 team on Oh, geez. Governor Williams is like said their Pace's number one team on I-10. Well, I think some people will have a difference in opinion. But Ellis Hall's going Nice. Jenny Hart's going Beachside. So, you got some company.
Yeah.
You got some.
See?
And Reno always has a coconut theme with his picks.
I will have my coconut soon. I will have it.
And Zach Lesnar in the second round, he says in the second round, I'm mentioning about with potentially seeing Beachside. So, but as we roll along here, we've got Cardinal Newman coming to Citizens Field and playing Buchholz. Actually, Buchholz, I believe, Buchholz is 6-3 on the season, and Cardinal Newman 7-0. Cardinal Newman was off this past week. Buchholz coming out of a just really, really, really tough game against Bartram Trail. Oh boy, man! This Cardinal Newman team led by head coach Jack Daniels, one of my favorite names for a head coach in the Sunshine State, Jack Daniels. And he is a heck of a ball coach, by the way. And if you look at his track record, Dwyer the several state championships there at Dwyer. Boy, to me, this is a road trip for Cardinal Newman. It's home field advantage for Buchholz, but my gut feeling sways this is going to be a tough one, especially coming after that tough game against Bartram Trail. Yeah, I'm going Cardinal Newman. Sorry, Buchholz.
Yeah, I as long as Cardinal Newman doesn't get any injuries because of the field, I think they take the win.
Yeah, and unless the game has been moved to a different field, we'll have to find out. And that's a potential chance that's there. But going back to the climate, Mark Gann is like Beachside Island.
Welcome to the island.
Yeah, David Kolskowski saying Bobcats. Oh, so he's going Buchholz here. Zach Lesnar, Cardinal Newman. Mark Cannon's going Cardinal Newman, and I'm feeling it for my city team, but I'm going Cardinal Newman. Jenny, woo, I like it.
Ellis is saying Buchholz by a whisker.
Yeah, Buchholz by a whisker. Ooh, man, we'll have to see how that field looks come Thursday night, Halloween, right here in Gainesville. All right, on to pick number 5. All right, over there on US 19 in Levy County, we have Union County making the road trip from Lake Butler to play Chiefland. Union County 8-0, Chiefland 7-1. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a battle, and this is going to be a battle for playoff positioning because I kind of give you a sneak preview of what's ahead of on the Drive the State show coming up here in about 10 minutes. Let's just say this. It is a tight battle. They are both in the top 5 in terms of the 1A power rankings right now. And, only one loss between these two teams. But for Chiefland, a big win would go a long way. So moving them up in towards the playoff rankings in the Class 1A Division A bracket. But Union County, the top team right now, sitting in that bracket. And, boy, Adam Gore, Andrew Thomas, both coaches are really, really great coaches. But, my pick this week, I'm sorry, Chiefland. I'm going Union County.
Union County's bringing back some old memories watching them play it this way, and they're going to roll on.
Yeah. But you're going to go – are you rolling Union County or are you rolling Chiefland?
I'm rolling Union County.
Rolling Union County. Well, you heard Reno's pick.
And it pains me too, Jenny. It pains me to say it, but Union County.
Yeah. Chiefland, David Kolskowski is saying Chiefland. Zach Lesnar is going Union County. Mark County, he says he'll be in Chiefland taking Union County. Ooh. Yeah.
Mark.
Ooh. Zachary Hallback says Union County. Ellis Hall is going Union County. Jenny, she says Union, as much as it pains me. And yes, she does agree with you, Reno. So there you go. All right. So with the final game of the night for the pick 6, we have St. Augustine at Mandarin. Brian Braddock is going to be coaching against his whole team here. St. Augustine getting this 100th win this last week against Ridgeview, but Mandarin's where his head coaching career started at. But St. Augustine is his alma mater, and took St. Augustine to the state championship game last year in 3S, but came up just short against Daytona Beach Mainland. But this game has got a lot of playoff implications on the line. Mandarin number 4 in their region, St. Augustine number 1 in their region. It is a battle of the Yellow Jackets and the Mustangs, and boy, oh boy. Part of me is like Mandarin. My biggest thing about Mandarin here is the quarterback play is starting to get better. So in fact, they have a freshman quarterback been starting since about week 4 of the season, but St. Augustine has just been playing lights out as a team, not just offensively, but as doing as well on defense, and that's where my pick leans towards their defense winning this one for them and giving Mandarin their third loss of the season.
I think Mandarin is not taking any more crap this season, and they pull away against St. Augustine this week.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So Reno is going against the grain here, where David Kozlowski is taking St. Augustine, Mark Cannon's taking St. Augustine, Zach Lesner's taking St. Augustine, Zachary Hallbach, St. Augustine, Ellis Hall, St. Augustine, and even Jenny's going with St. Augustine. Boy, Reno's on St. Johns County Island, by the way.
That's right. I am on my own island, and I'm happy. It's all good.
Yes, indeed. And well, that was perfect timing on the music ending right there, because that is the pick six for week number 11. And by the way, I have a question. We'll kind of address this. I mean, what you thinking? All right, you guys think Pine Forest can sneak in the playoffs? Well, I got something special for you. Come with us to the Drive the State show coming up here in a few minutes here on FloorHSFootball.com. And we will talk about that, because actually you might be pleasantly surprised about Pine Forest, but I will leave it there at that in talking about that. But
tease it, Josh. Just tease it.
Yeah, I'll just tease it. The Drive the State show coming up here at right at 9:00 or just a couple minutes right after, as we sign off here on the North Florida Blitz here. But I got to tell you one more time here, we would appreciate your support. Hey, if you'd like to support FloorHSFootball.com, you can hit us on the super stickers or the super chats right there on the chat on YouTube. That's on YouTube only, youtube.com/@FloridaHSFootball. We'd appreciate your support, and we are excited to have recently become an official YouTube partner. And I appreciate everybody. Oh, gosh, Mark Cannon.
I'll keep swimming, Mark. I'll keep swimming.
Yes, and Jenny says, great show, Josh and Reno. And, of course, I know Reno's not going to join me on the Drive the State. He'll be in the chat, by the way, but the Drive the State, we're going to get down into the analyticals of these playoff brackets, and we'll be having fun here coming up here in just a few minutes.
I let the master do his work when it comes to the right area. Take over, Josh.
Yes. All right, and Reno's rolling the dice. Good pick. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here for the North Florida Blitz. We got the Drive the State show coming up here. Appreciate it, Reno, and it's 0-0 on the clock. Here we go. Appreciate it, guys. All right. For myself, Jonathan Wilson, we'll get you on the Drive the State show coming up here in a few minutes right here on FloorHSFootball.com.